We left our people after they had picked up a map of all of Banthasham, even though it's not all revealed. It's a work in progress. And then they purchased some more supplies. I think you guys picked up some healing potions, but nothing else of note. You met an elf at a magic shop who took great interest in Tammon's sword, the Nimbus Blade, not his personal sword, and said that he's going to be scrying on you. And what else? Oh, you guys were looking for an inn, and then Tammon and Kirill went off to the poor district in Morrow and asked about a certain individual for reasons unknown so far. And I think we left off in the afternoon in Morrow, and you guys were looking to find an inn for them. Is that correct?
I think we decided that we would stay at a modest inn. Not poor, not rich.
Yeah, because we ended right after we left the shop, right?
Yeah.
I do believe that's correct.
Yeah.
We should go to that vampire's place and kill him.
We are not going there.
I think it's a great idea, personally.
I have a duty to kill vampires.
It's some creepy guy who's gonna drug you up and roofie you.
Okay, well,
Won't
all I
be
need
the
to
first time.
all I need to do, I know now, is if someone gives me a strange look, I just need to touch myself and it all gets better.
Oh my god.
Incredible. I am in to help Kirill on his quest to touch himself and feel better.
And keep in mind with the lay on hands thing, to cure poisons or diseases, it's 5 hit points that you have to expend, not just 1.
Really?
Yeah, it says it in the handbook.
Bullshit.
So quit cheating. I've got my eyes on you. All right. Okay. Well, with that, you guys were looking for an inn, and you've been to the Bronze Buttons. That's one of the cheaper inns in town. But there are a number of other establishments in Morrow. So, where would you like to go? What are you looking for?
Mid-range price, I think we were all decided.
Yep.
We
How
don't want sleep.
How are the coffers looking?
They're looking low.
I have 5 gold.
We haven't pulled out of our bag of money holding. So we're just going personal expenses right now.
Have you haven't dipped into that at all?
Not that I'm aware of. I personally
Wow.
haven't touched it. It doesn't belong to me, as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
none of us have been using that. We've been using our personal gold.
Translation, I haven't spent anything.
I spent money on us getting over here on the boat, and I paid for, I think, everybody.
Well, my money.
And I gave 50 gold to Salmon.
Yep.
Well, you didn't whine to me about it, so I
I
didn't. have
spent
to give you
800
50
gold on a consumable that saved our lives. So don't worry, guys.
Oh, that's right. And
We'll
I
be-
bought
we'll be all right.
potion. Yeah.
It's all fair here. Well, except it's less fair for some people.
All right. Okay. So,
bastard.
with that in mind, like I said, there are a number of establishments. Are you guys just gonna head back to the Bronze Buttons that Kirill and Bungus, this name is Tammon actually, went to?
If they told us about it, sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know if they just took off and have disappeared.
Okay. So you guys start heading off into that area. And you guys do recall there's the Port's True Call down by the docks that you passed. That's another inn that you guys could go to. And by the marketplace, there was the Coin Hold, which is another inn that you could head to. But if you're set, you're heading towards the Bronze Buttons. And as you are making your way there, you the few of you who have not left Solura are kind of overwhelmed by the amount of activity that continues to persist through the night. There's just a lot of people about, working constantly. And while Unum, which was the city that most of you guys spent your time in, was pretty large, this is close to double, if not 3 times, the size of Unum. And this is actually one of the smaller cities in the southern area. So, of the larger, rather. It's smaller of the larger, if that makes any sense at all. And it's just it's a bit overwhelming, I guess I would say. And there's still that kind of persistent sulfurous smell every time the wind picks up from the sea. And, yeah. You guys make your way.
He stinks. Haldir's been here, right? I'm assuming that he's the one explaining all this to us.
I haven't been to that. No, I've never been to the city, I don't think.
Only I.
Maybe. I'm not sure. If I was, not for very long.
Tammin, why would you ever wish to come back? This is
I don't.
disgusting.
I didn't want to come this way.
That's
But
true.
here we are.
Here we are. Okay, so as you kind of enter into the bronze buttons, there's just a multitude of people taking their dinners there. People are already getting a little bit rambunctious doing their drinking, and you do see a few Knights of Karn that are just kind of milling about, and it looks like they're on duty, like they're not drinking anything, any liquor or beer or anything like that. They're keeping their wits about them, and they're just kind of like surveying the area constantly. And you've noticed that this is the case in most of the streets in Morrow, where there's just like 1 or 2 guards or Knights of Karn that are just on the street, just constantly being vigilant. And for the most part, you guys have not seen any type of crime or civil unrest in any way, shape, or form. This is very like people are courteous and everybody is just really kind. It's actually kind of refreshing. Besides the fact that it smells weird. So you guys enter into this city or enter into this tavern. What do you do?
I'm
Food.
probably just gonna get a room and big chill and eat my rations because I'm a poor boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to lay low in this town, so I do pretty much the same.
How much is a meal at an inn?
Like this.
It really depends. You can get just like basic bitch food, and that'll cost you, like 2 silver pieces, if you're being like really cheap. Or you can get something nicer, which you can range anywhere from a gold to 5 gold, depending on what you get.
Whatever it is, and I'll get the 1 gold thing for me, Haldir, and Kirill, since Kirill has no money.
Sure.
I'll take 3 gold off my
Well,
sheet.
I'd like to roll up to the barkeep and ask, what have you got on the menu here?
I think I saw you in here earlier. I
Are we at the
got
button?
plenty. Yeah, you're at the button, baby.
Okay.
Where else would you go? This is your home. I mean, in all likelihood, you probably did spend some time here.
Yeah.
In your previous stay.
I just didn't know that we had gone to this one when making our decision today. That's fine.
Nope. That was the call that was made. And
good.
he starts talking about his wares. He's got a pretty wide variety. He says, I've got everything from north to south, east to west. I got it here. So pick your poison. You got coin, right?
Oh, we got coin.
Good
Got any of
coin?
that bangers and mash?
Of course. What else do we eat here?
Well, I don't know, since you won't tell me, but I'll have bangers and mash.
What's
There you go.
bangers and mash?
Sausage and potatoes.
That sounds nice.
I have no idea what I just bought you anyways.
Don't worry, you didn't buy me anything.
Do you have
Not
any
you.
roast? I'll
I
take
bought
some
something for
roast.
Kittle.
Sure, they've got roast. For 1 gold, you can pretty much walk up there and ask for anything, and they'll try and cook it for you. It's a port city, so they have access to a lot of stuff. But yeah, so you guys are just chilling in the common room for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why not.
Okay, sure.
I can think of
After
a reason.
yeah, yeah.
In the back of the room.
Yeah.
In the back of the room. So are you
No, I'm
trying to
serious.
be? You're
Yeah.
trying
I'm
to
not
be,
trying to be in the front of this establishment.
Sure. So you're trying to lay low in
Yeah.
a common room. Go ahead and make a, I would say, like a performance check.
Him or all of us?
All of you. If
Oh.
if your intention is to act as nonchalant
Would
as
I
you
get an
possibly
advantage
can.
on that with my actor feat?
Sure.
I would argue I'm not performing because I'm just actually just sitting here and I don't.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not because she's just looking around everywhere at everything and everyone.
I mean, you guys,
Obviously a tourist.
to some extent, you do stand out.
Yeah.
You're well armed. It's a group of 5 individuals who are pretty different looking, and you, most of you, probably have some form of a northern accent that's not particularly like their tongue here in Morocco. So if you don't really care that people see you, that's fine. But for the people who are trying to kind of lay low, you roll a performance. And Tammin and Tao did, and they are
So-
almost drawing more attention to themselves.
What?
Forget the performance. I am schmoozing with the townsfolk.
So I'm
Sure.
not getting
Still
advantage on
working on
this,
such-
or I'm doing so well. That
I would say that you not have this
So-
is a skill from your actor feat.
skill. No.
Yeah, it's
that's
not a skill that you get your proficiency bonus added
no. I mean, that's kind. I was gonna ask you because all it does is gives me. I mean, it gives me an increase the charisma score by 1, but all it does is gives me advantage on performance and deception checks when specifically trying to pass myself off as a different person. So I don't know if that
Sure.
would apply in this scenario.
No, I think that would apply. That's perfect.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay. So you are chatting up the townsfolk. Are you asking them anything in particular, Kirill, or are you just being kind?
Small talking.
Small talking? Sure.
Maybe asking how the harvest is, how the fishing is, what are the sights to see around this place?
Sights? See.
What's this in the center? What's the not island in the middle of the Sea of Cinders?
Okay. Let's say go ahead and make a charisma check, and let's see how they kind of respond to this. Maybe diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
It's not on the skill list, by the way.
That's
So you
not a-
just
that's not a
you just
skill, it's
roll
just
a
a
1d20
persuasion.
plus your charisma modifier.
Oh, persuasion. Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So you kind of get just like the rundown of the nicer places in town. And they mention the inn Animanus, which is like this masquerade inn where you get a mask before you even enter, and it's just like it's the only place in Morrow where there are no Knights of Karn inside the establishment, inside the inn itself. So that's kind of where the people of Morrow who are maybe not necessarily above the board go to interact and kind of get a little bit wild, I would say. Maybe it's the nightlife here. And as far as when you ask about the ash hold that you can see on your map, you get a couple of kind of like puzzled looks, and they're saying, "Oh, that's that new island, came up straight out of the Sea of Cinders. They say that they've been shipping off dirt, dropping it right on there, trying to make it bigger, bringing rocks and shit. It's been quite the laborious activity for the Knights of Karn. Kind of a poor use of resources, if you ask me.
Why do they want there to be an island there?
Oh, fuck if I know. You could ask one of those Knights of Karn, but I don't know. I suppose they're just trying to keep track of all the trade, but they ain't been a pirate on the Sea of Cinders. I'm not sure a pirate could afford a ship that floats there. You gotta have the wick wood, you gotta tar it up, and then you gotta have that enchanted metal on the bottom so your ship doesn't catch fire from the whole fucking blue flames that come out of the bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting indeed. It's a bit expensive to start a trade on this, so I mean, there's no way they're really trying to fight off pirates. You'd have to ask one of those blokes. They'd know.
How are the people of the city? Is there a disease or plague or anything like that going around?
No, nothing like that. It's been a while since we had any troubles like that. Probably 2 years ago we had some trouble with people getting sick in the poor districts. I think it was tied to some foul food. But to be honest, it's a good life here.
Yeah,
where
seems
you
like
come from?
Oh, we come from up north.
Up north. Not much
Yeah.
hicks up north. That's what I hear.
Yeah, it's nice. It's peaceful. Until Lonarans came. It's a little too unpeaceful for us.
Oh yeah, those northerners are savages. No offense, but yeah. Hey, you guys don't even have like a king or an emperor. Or what kind of government you got up there anyway?
It's something of a. Well, the merchants kind of have a council, and they decide on things.
Yikes! That does not sound good.
Their machinations are not something I really understand truly.
Yes, I suppose you're one of those guys who worship that heathen god that I hear the con folk talk about. Kind of gestures at your holy symbol.
Well, it's the faith of our fathers, and I can't walk. We certainly can't walk away from that.
I suppose so. I don't rightly care for much of the gods. They haven't done much for me. They on the east. They worship Kermerkan. No, it's out west. They worship that one. Over in Jepper, he's like the god of balance. So every good deed that you do, you get something rewarded, and then if you suffer the bad things, you get the good. I don't know. It's man,
I
that
think you
religion
nailed
stuff.
it.
Yeah. I think I got it too. I'm sorry. What are your names? Oh, my name's old Tim, after the first emperor of this fine empire.
Is Tim the barkeep, or is Tim just some guy that
It's
Carol's
just
been talking to?
some random guy at one of the benches.
Oh, my name's Kira.
Oh, Gero. That's a good name. And how about you, half-elven chap?
Oh, name's George.
George. That's a good name. Strong name.
I like to think so.
Yes. Well, what brings you down here?
I gestured at Kirill.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
this is too much trouble up north with the invasion. Just want to keep our hands out of that.
I'd bet so. War is a foul thing. But, I say, Knights of Khan do one thing well. It's keeping the troubles away.
Oh, no doubt. This place seems very, a lot less rambunctious than I'm used to for a city.
Well, it's a kind of a tight watch. You can't be too drunk walking in the streets. Put you in a cell for the night. But, a little bit of freedom for a little bit of peace. It's not too bad. Not too bad to try it, if you ask me.
Suppose you're right.
Yeah. Well, if you companions want to join us for a few more drinks, I'll be happy to oblige you.
That sounds amazing.
All right. And he actually takes care of your drinks for a few more rounds. Seems to be kind of well off. He talked about how he's a farmer on the south side of Morrow. Just kind of has a nice conversation with you for the rest of the night until you guys retire or head off to do something else. Why don't you all make perception checks while you guys are relaxing? It's a lot of criticals on the other end.
Sleight of hand and then perception.
Yeah,
No,
Taman's stealing something.
I had like my
P4.
my macro like as someone pushed it up, so I clicked the wrong button.
Can the other bar patrons see Tammin fapping under the table?
That's
What the
exactly
heck?
what that sleight of hand was. Yep. He's mashing it. Anyways,
Doing the old banger.
Tammin, you see kind of a strange looking gentleman enter into the tavern around like sundown, pretty much. Like you can see out the windows. It's getting to be that point where it's the sun, what's that called? Sunset, that's the word. It's kind of playing the colors across the sky, and you see kind of a stranger looking gentleman. His garb is much different than any of the other people from this town, and he's got kind of a darker look to him. Like he's very intent, and he's got a very singular purpose. And he scans the room as he steps in.
Okay.
And he walks over to the innkeep.
And as he starts talking to the innkeep. Okay.
Can I ask him who this guy is?
I send a message to the barkeeper. And say, tell him nothing.
Okay.
Do you know this barkeeper?
No.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. Never mind.
Okay. Make a
Specifically
make a-
using the cantrip message. I don't know. It seems like maybe some of these
No,
guys are
it's
confused.
just a little bit of a violation for messaging.
No,
people
it's just funny.
I don't think it
in
is.
the
You just
head.
point.
It seems
Yeah,
a little
no.
Oh,
rude
I
to
see what
me
you
is
mean.
all.
Well, who cares?
Yeah, so make either a persuasion check or an intimidation check based on your like tone of voice that you're tossing this to him with.
Definitely intimidation. Perfect.
You see him scan the room after you do this, and well, I have to check the parameters on that spell, but it should sound like your
point?
voice.
It does sound like his voice.
Yeah. So if
You
he knows
can't
my voice,
tell. Yeah.
then he knows he would either know it's me if he can see me, or I don't know. I guess
Just
that's up to
point
his
And
perceptiveness.
whisper.
Yeah, he remembers. All right. So you see him kind of look around the room for a little bit, and then he sees you. And he gives you a wink, and he starts talking to this guy, but you can't make out what he's saying.
Is Tim still in the room? I'd like to ask Tim who the weird guy is.
So I have no idea.
Tim looks around. There's a lot of weird folk in here, but you're probably the weirdest. Who are you talking about specifically?
The guy talking to the barkeeper this very moment.
He squints over at the bar. Sorry, my eyes are too good. Yeah, I don't know him. Sorry.
Oh, well, thanks anyway, Tim.
Nah, no worries.
I want to buy Tim some dessert or something. He's a nice guy.
Wonder
They
what's
got
up
they
Penny
got
to
lemon
do that.
cakes, dude. They got lemon cake. That's the best. Everybody loves it here.
Tim and I are continuing our bromance.
And so after a few,
I'm watching this guy at the bar, by the way. So whatever he's doing, I'm looking at him.
so after a few moments, you see the man pull out a coin purse, and he opens it up and he lays out what looks like a platinum coin, and he pushes it over to the innkeep.
10 gold.
Yeah,
This guy's fucking cheap.
and the innkeep takes it and points over in
I'll
your
point
direction.
this out to Haldir. Okay. Oh God.
All right.
And the man looks over.
Do I see this?
Yeah. After
Alright.
Tammin points it out, yeah.
I
I cast
no,
fireball.
never.
It's not crowded in.
No. I am readying a chromatic orb in case I think that, in case this guy comes over with threatening. I'll shoot
Yeah,
him.
he turns over to you and his mouth opens and a bunch of scarabs just start flying out of his mouth. And no.
What?
Like, this
So
is
hold
not
on.
that kind
So
of
this
thing.
guy's in like a tattered like you said he looks like a darker guy. What does he look like?
yeah, so
Is there
he's
any
got this,
Are
distinguishing
you being
features about him?
racist?
yeah.
No. I'm
No,
asking.
he's got this dark slicked back hair. His face and his arms that are uncovered look like they've been suntanned. Like he's just been out moving for a long time. And he does have kind of these gray brown travel robes that are over him, and he's got a fairly large satchel over his shoulder as well. And he turns to you guys after the innkeeper points you out, and starts walking in your direction. Just do you guys want to do anything? Or you guys aren't all sitting at the same table. The way that I see it so far, at least, is that Misha and Tower at a different table. They haven't engaged in conversation with Tim so far.
I mean, he's walking over to my table specifically.
He's walking over to you specifically.
Okay.
I'll
I'll loudly order a drink. I'll have another one here. Just kind of like trying to draw a lot of attention my direction then.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of people talking, so this is a very loud room as it is.
Okay.
But
Come sends a message to the barkeep.
Give me another drink.
it's a proper use of message. But in any case, yeah. So he's walking over to you.
Does he have anything in his hands?
No. He's like stows his coin purse as he walks towards you.
Okay. Well, all right. Is there an open seat next to me? I mean, I don't know how many of our people are at this table. If
If he scrunched, he could probably sit next to you guys. But as he walks up,
I was going to offer him a seat.
extends his hand and says, "Mendaut Dwyer, are you Tammin?"
Who's asking?
What did he say?
It's Elvish.
Mendaut Dwyer. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
Because he's extending his hand as like a greeting. So he's
Yeah. I just thought he was speaking another language. Is all.
Yeah, me too. At first. I just ask him who's asking. Or not who's asking, who wants to know? Or why do you want to know?
He gave you his name. He just
Yeah, I kept saying the wrong thing.
I have a couple of questions I would like to ask. I heard that you entered the sanctum of Lycidas. He's kind of like bending over and like lowering his voice as he says this.
We were out in the Valley of the Shepherd. Truth be told, I don't know what we saw.
In any case, I would be very grateful if I could have a conversation with you and anybody else who entered that area.
I look over to him.
What are
and
you
say,
looking for specifically?
Just that. Information. A conversation. I'd be willing to pay. I did not come here empty-handed.
Sure thing. I go over to him and
I don't know if we can hear this from our other
Apparently,
table.
Kirill
You,
is
you can see this
omniscient.
interaction happening, because, I mean, you guys are obviously paying
Are
attention.
you going to drop your bromance to go over
maybe.
to Tim?
I've purchased the room. Please, bring the rest of your friends and follow me, if you would. I'll make it worth your time.
I'll go with this guy, but I still got the chromatic orb ready, just so everyone's aware.
By the
You're
way,
holding that action.
Sure.
Is Tim the guy who owns the farm estate outside of Morrow that the guy in the ship was telling?
No, that's Richard Taum. The last name Taum. It's a different person.
To our knowledge.
Yeah, I suppose. So you guys are following him up. Is everybody going along? Is Tal
Where-
staying
I'm
behind?
going.
Where are we going?
He's just
Yeah,
leading,
it's just to go up to his room.
Yeah, up to a
Yeah.
room that he purchased.
He's trying to fuck you,
God.
dude.
It's
Well-
very romantic.
Keep that butthole tight.
Halder will come with me.
I'll
Kirill
go
also said
I'll
he
go
would.
along as well.
Carol, you can stay here. I think you've got some business to take care of.
Okay, so just Haldir and Tammin.
What?
As
I want to
as-
grab Hammond's arm and tell him you can message me downstairs.
Give her the nod, and I walk off.
Okay,
But that wouldn't work. You need line of sight
Okay.
for a message.
Do you? I think you only need to have a direction.
Don't think so. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I know.
You point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target hears you, so
Doesn't say you see.
yeah, pointing toward a
Within
creature
range,
within
I
range.
guess.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, remember
I mean, if I have
Magical
enough,
silence.
where I'm specifically where I'm sitting.
1 foot of stone,
Yeah,
1
right.
inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. So
so no.
it would probably not work.
That's
Oh,
right.
this
There was
doesn't
some.
You guys
Yeah.
got some thick ceilings.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are
Hey,
some
I mean, it
amazing
depends.
ceilings.
It depends. Yeah. It could. It maybe there'd be. There'd be
All
a
right,
little bit
Tom.
of
Tell us
static.
about the craftsmanship of the building now.
Well, as you guys reach the base of the stairs, he looks to you and says, "I had heard that there was 5 that went in. I see only 2 follow. Are the rest of your friends okay?
They're fine. They're
And
elsewhere
could
around
they come
town.
join us? Oh, that is disappointing. All right, then please follow me." And he continues up to his room. And he actually has a little bit of trouble finding it. He's like looking down some of the hallways. He's like looking at his room
I've got
number.
my hand on my sword this whole time.
All right. And eventually he finds his room, opens it up, and he says, "Oh, this place is a shithole. No offense if you're staying here for the night." Wow.
None taken, but are you used to finer
I'm actually the
establishments?
owner. So.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Are you used to finer establishments?
I suppose yes. Yes.
I mean, didn't you see? He bribed the barman with just a whole 10 gold.
Actually, I was purchasing my room, and I was paying him for it. Gives a smile. Anyways, I would love to know everything about your adventure into the sanctum of the cities. I belong to an order called the Sanctus Arcanum, and Sacantis Arcanum, and we heard through our
What was this guy's name again?
system,
I know you've told me a few times. I just didn't know how to say it.
Mandaut Duir.
Okay.
So I heard from my order that some people had entered, and when I arrived, a group of lancers, and they imparted a bit of information to me that a group of 5 adventurers had departed. From there, I went to Unum and tried to locate these adventurers. And through some asking around, I was able to discern that you took a ship to the south. I came as quick as I could because this has been my objective for quite some time to get inside, but you were able to. So please,
Have I heard of this group or anything?
make a Kana or history check.
Oh gosh, which one's better? I don't even remember. Oh wait, they're the same, aren't they? They're both int, aren't they?
Probably. If you're proficient in one, though, is what I was meaning.
Yeah. No, I have no fucking idea.
Nope.
I definitely wouldn't know, so I'm not gonna try.
Where are you from? Where is this group centered out of? If you don't mind me asking, I mean, we need some information before we're willing to part with any ourselves.
Sure. So you say where we are based from? We have contacts all over Pantashon, but
And you
currently,
just happen to be in Solera?
well, as I said, my particular objective was to get into this sanctum, but I had departed for some time, looking up information from the surrounding city. As I ran into a bit of a wall, literally. And like I was saying, we're based in Bergenshire, to the east, so south of Lennar. This new territory.
Why would you like to get in there? What's the motive? I
We
mean,
search out hidden magics, I suppose you would say. And Lycidas was an extraordinary individual. He was capable of great things. And we were curious about all of his accomplishments. We would not allow ourselves to let a treasure trove of knowledge just disappear or fall to the wayside. So I was sent to discover its secret. That's our goal.
why were you unable to?
Well, like I said, that the passageway was blocked. I spoke with some of the residents, and I learned a bit about the place, but I could not. I could not. You see, I'm just a scholar. I did not want to endanger myself too much.
I'm just mulling over his little spiel
thinking.
here. I want to do an insight check. I'm not rolling very well today, apparently.
Okay. He seems. So what do you like? You're just trying to see his honesty in this.
Well, yeah, I believe that he has ulterior reasons.
Of course.
Like, not me. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
I mean, you and I both think that. I mean, I think it's obvious. Plus, we can't. Well,
His face doesn't give away any additional information. In the way that he's talking, he seems very honest and forthright. But you can have your own suspicions, of course.
Yeah.
I will put a hand behind my back. I assume I'm standing next to you, out there here, and I'll do the little point thing to him and send him a message out there, and I'll say, we can't give him too much information. If he gets in there, we have to remember that Jonathan and the Crown are also in there. We can't let that fall into the wrong hands. And he's allowed to send me one message back.
Yeah, I say duh.
Perfect.
Sure.
So you're a keeper of secrets, or a hunter of secrets.
That's probably a better way of saying it, yes. And
What's so important about this particular secret? Truth be told, we didn't find anything incredibly noteworthy inside.
well, that is disappointing. Are you sure? Perhaps it's not very interesting to
mean-
someone of your like, but maybe to my order it would be very interesting. But before you continue, please understand I am here to bargain. You did the work, but I seek some of the benefit. And
Well,
in that regard, I would be willing to pay you a large sum of money, depending on what you can give me.
here's the fact of the matter. You act as though we would maybe be fooled by what's inside and wouldn't quite understand it. But, we did just waltz right in and get in with no prior knowledge or anything. So maybe you're underestimating us a bit. Second of all, we're not going to let you inside. It's not our job, it's not our purpose. If you want to get in, you'll have to do it just as we did.
That's very disappointing. I did not mean to insult you. If I have, I am very sorry, but he meant to say that there was nothing in there, and I find that hard to believe. Are you sure I could not work a deal? Prepared to offer upwards of 10,000 gold pieces for information that would lead to access to this chamber.
I'm afraid there's not a number to be found, friend.
Are you sure that there's nothing that I can give you? I have contacts all over the world, and I hold great information myself.
Nothing comes
Great
to mind.
information in regards to what?
Secrets. Secrets of the arcane. Secrets of Bantashon in general. My people have been working on the secrets of Bantashon for many a century. So please, if
I
there
mean
is
no
something I
offense,
can help
but
you with, tell me.
if you
so
know
that
so
I
much
can
of
get
the
in access.
arcane, why can you not get in yourself?
As I said before, I am but a single man. The trial seemed dangerous, far beyond what I can do. I am a archivist. I learn and I record and I send to other people who also learn and record. But me personally, I do not have the capabilities to enter into dangerous facilities such as this. But with your assistance, had I been there, I would have accompanied you, offered what little aid I could, and rewarded you for your time. But I was not there. I was elsewhere looking for information about this place. Please, if there is a good deal that we could work, I would be very interested. So far, you seem very hesitant about this, and it concerns me. Was there some curse that was put upon you while you were there or something? I mean, what's going on?
Not at all. I just respect that there's a reason we were able to gain access. It was protected. Not just anyone can waltz in. It's a test of your character, your strength, your intelligence. It's my belief that if you wish to have the information you seek, then you'll need those things. Not those things from other people, those things from yourself.
He kind of has a dark look kind of pass over his face, like very, very frustrated. And then it kind of lightens, and he says, "Very well. If there's nothing that I can say or do, is there any information at all that you can give me? If not access, some hint, anything?"
I will tell you this. If you go, you have to be ready to die.
I see.
It's not just luck. It's not just skill or knowledge that got us through, but also luck. And you'll need some of your own.
I see. Well, if that is it then, if you have nothing more to say, I appreciate everything that you have told me, and I will take it to heart. If you would be so kind as to leave my room now, that would be great.
We do so. I do so.
I cast Chromatic Orb. No. Yeah, I'll leave.
Sure.
Rejoin our compatriots in the bottom.
All right.
And I'll gather them around and under my breath try to fill them in on what happened.
I'm watching the stairs to see if this guy comes back down.
Sure.
Have either Carol heard of this order?
You guys can both make a history or arcana check. Nope. Neither of you guys have heard of him.
I mean, I've done a lot of reading. Now, granted, we are in a different country here, but
Yeah, but he said they were from East fucking Jabib.
Quite literally.
West of Lennar? I'll tell you what's there. Nothing.
South of Lennar is what he said.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to say. West would not make sense.
Yes, west of Solera.
maybe
Um,
it would be good to bar our door tonight and the window. Just in case.
I don't see why not.
Okay. There's nothing else that you guys wish to discuss. The night continues, and you guys can stay down in the common room for as long as you like. Haldir, why don't you make a perception check to see if you notice anybody leaving that fits his description?
Nope.
You do not. And
I would like to state among my compatriots that, like, I don't see any harm with telling him that, like, maybe in, like, a year or something, we could let him in exchange for some help.
Do not know that we can do that. On top of that, the information that Lucidus has should probably not fall into people's hands. It did blow up.
I mean, with any luck, a year from now, Lucidus will be maintaining the chamber again himself, and then it's not up to us.
That would be more perfect and ideal.
sure. So if each of you guys want to get your own rooms, it's 2 gold a night. But there are a number of rooms that you can double up in that would cost 3 gold a night.
I'll room with somebody.
I'm
Let's get a
doing
big
the
ass room.
I'm doing the single room.
Okay.
You guys are like, let's borrow a door, but let's split up.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I'll double up. I'll join Haldir.
Okay. Tao, are you going with Kirill? Or are you
Yes, right. Bros
Yeah,
for
sure.
life.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So Kirill and Tao are together, and Misha and Haldir, and then Tammin is.
I got my Raven. I guess I'm technically not alone.
3 gold per room, or is it 3 gold per
Yeah,
person?
3 gold per
for
double, 2
for
for
double,
a single.
and 2 for a single. Yeah. All right.
I'll take 2 gold off mine.
I think Haldir only has
Alrighty.
1 gold.
No,
How-
I said I have 5.
Oh, 5.
Oh, you have 5 gold?
5
Never
gold.
mind. I'll
Mm.
put all 3 on mine.
I don't think I
I
have
thought
any.
you had some. No, you don't.
I'll take another
Kirill.
gold
I've
off
been
for
buying
my
you
bangers
dinner.
and mash.
All right.
I'll give 2 gold over to Kirill, and I'll be like, Tao. I'll look at Tao like, you will spot him the rest. Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
you do good jobs.
So you guys retire for the evening, and are you guys taking any form of watches, or are you just locking your doors and just sleeping in relative peace?
I'm gonna put my back to the door. and
Definitely
sleep with my back
locking
to
my
the
door.
Okay, sure.
Lock the door and put a stick in like the window edge. And then
My
I'm just
familiar
gonna
will be
sleep.
on watch.
That's
All
so
right.
fucking busted.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. The night passes uneventfully for you, at least. and you guys all come to consciousness, and you meet up in the common hall, or in the morning. Sun's just beginning to rise. People are beginning their day. If you see a few still drunk or incredibly hungover patrons starting to gather and collect themselves and realizing that they're in some big trouble for the day. But yeah, it's a relatively peaceful morning.
Alrighty.
You hear the sound of some bells ringing and some people calling out from the Dawgs district as people are starting to set sail and get ready for their work.
Just so, can you at least unveil the place we're going on this map?
No.
Yeah, it's just right over here.
Where?
Let him do
He's
it.
quickly drawing it right now.
Jelrin. That's where we're going.
And then the Hollow Peaks are right here.
Alright. Is this a road? Or not? I know this is a road. That's not what I meant to ask. Is this a bridge?
Yes.
So we could just take the road if we want.
I'll agree with the road path.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's no necromancers along the road.
We're
They're
concerned about the
everywhere.
people who shoot us from a distance. I mean,
Well, those guys will be on the road.
I'm not scared of them anymore.
Yeah, I think we can
fucked up
take them
5
now.
Like they can fucking try.
The assassins?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll-
They just
I'll-
might.
no,
They just-
no.
they
I
just
we're
might.
okay with-
they
we're
definitely
okay with
might.
that.
You guys are fools. But we can go by road.
Unless we're going to Vampire Castle, we may as well just head out.
Let's go to Vampire Castle.
No. Vote again.
I'm on board.
I'll help on your quest to slay
I
vampires.
heard it's beautiful this time of year.
We don't even know if it's a vampire, but
Probably just a creepy sex pervert.
Oh my
But
goodness.
like that means Tom set up a creepy sex pervert dungeon for us to do. So
I promise you that didn't happen.
I wouldn't be so sure.
God.
All
We
right.
already found the creepy sex boat.
Yeah. You never know, dude. There's a lot of crazy things in the world. All right. So, you guys take your breakfast there, I imagine, and you start to head out on your way.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, yes.
You know the general direction that you wish to head, so you start moving in that direction in the city. And as you get towards the outer walls of Morrow, you can see that there are a number of carts that are prepping themselves to leave out of Morrow today. And you see that there are actually a number of people who they look like they're bargaining with sellswords. They're like trying to hire on people to protect their caravans as they are leaving. And that's like a common thing to do at the gates of Morrow out of the north, because it's away from Mareko, which means it's away from the protection of the Knights of Karn. So there's more banditry, especially since this road pretty much only leads past the Maw. They need to have protection. So you see that there are a number of individuals who are kind of like trying to convince sellswords to protect their property. Do you guys just head out, or are you interested in taking up that?
I'm gonna grab the closest person's arm, which is probably Tao, since he's near me usually, and be like, our pockets are a little low, and we're going that way anyways. We'd have to fight off whatever is along the way.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm thinking
down.
there's no other option.
You
The
see,
other option is we just
Let-
leave without them.
Let's see how much money they're offering. I mean,
This
you
is
know.
true.
Yeah,
'Cause we can probably outpace them by ourselves.
Right.
Definitely.
And they are a target as well too, but we are also a target, so 50.
Yeah, but probably a less enticing target.
So you see one individual who is not currently engaged with a sellsword group, and he's got these. It's a very small halfling, small even for a halfling, and he's kind of fiddling with on a like booster stool with his mule's strappings on his cart, and it actually looks like he has two carts. So there's two sets of mules, and they're kind of smaller carts that they probably carry like half of what a wagon of normal size could carry. And he kind of turns around and sees a group of individuals approaching them that are fairly well armed. He says, "Oh, yes, yes. This is just what I needed. Adventurers. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Hello. My name is Wallish Matern, gym trader extraordinaire, and I am looking to hire adventurers like you."
Oh, it's nice to meet you. My name is Carol, and how much are you willing to, part with for a safe?
Straight to the point. I love it. He jumps off of a stool and he walks over to you, and he like comes up to a little bit above your knee. And he raises his small pudgy hand to you. He's like, "I would be willing to give each and every one of you a veritable treasure trove of gold and precious gems if you could guide my cart to Dartmouth, or at the very least to Tosa. But I would definitely prefer to Dartmouth. Let's say 500 gold pieces to each of you if you can get me to Tosa, and 750 if you can get me to Dartmouth. What do you think? Doesn't that sound awesome?"
That's going south around the mall.
Tosa is on our way. Dartmouth is not.
We would
Tosa's
take the
not
road.
really on the way, but
Yeah, I was gonna say neither
I mean,
of these are on
it's
the way.
more out of the way.
It's
More on the
not
way.
very
than
far out of
Tosa.
the way.
it adds a couple days probably.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm down.
Money?
Still a good idea. Plus, people are looking for 5 people. They might not be looking for 5 people and 2 halflings.
Well, I also think that
It's just one halfling, right?
Yeah, it's
Friends
just
in high places.
But before we continue any
Or
further,
not so much in his case.
I kind of need some reassurance that you're capable individuals. So, what have you accomplished in your time? What's the biggest beast that you've slain?
We've slain 5. We were attacked by a group of 5 disfigured and survived.
I don't know what to speak. That sounds like you beat up cripples.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
to
not
us,
exactly
they are.
convincing.
They're an order of assassins from the north.
You ever heard of a carrion crawler?
Oh yeah, those nasty little worms. They come out of the mall all the time.
Killed about 15 of them, one go.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Why don't you make a persuasion check?
Why can't I? Jeepers.
Let's take a peep at his roll.
I clearly have advantage.
13.
What
could be
else? What else
worse.
have you killed? Carrion crawlers, big worms, not a big deal. We're probably looking at, chance to see some giants, chance to see some, goblin hordes. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. So please.
How much gold are you offering to take on a goblin horde? Out of curiosity.
A
Well,
goblin horde?
You kind
I
of
could
asked it
literally
in
kill.
crude.
I could kill like 50 goblins in literally 6 seconds.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if
50
he
goblins. That's so many. Do you know how many live in the Yip Yang Mountains? It's not a number. It's infinity. They just keep coming.
Well, yeah, but
There's
I
been
said in
3
6
wars
seconds.
that have fought with them, and then many, many hundreds of people have died. They're not just some, minor threats. They're kind of a big deal.
Can I shoot a fireball in the air? Is that a thing you can do?
You
You can.
No, I'm not going to.
Hold on. I want to look around and see the quality of other cell swords around. Like, what's the cut of the jib for everyone here? Like, are they looking
Make a
pretty
perception
damn
check.
well armed? Are they, All right.
Yeah, make a perception. So the people around you, a lot of them are these kind of grizzled cell swords that look tough. They look like they're veterans of the wilderness and the maw, and
A big old level 0. I get it.
they're not necessarily, you can't really tell and judge.
How do they
power
look
based
in
on what they-
comparison to us? I know I can't judge their skills, but
This was made in 5 levels when Yukar unlocks the incredibly powerful fighter trait that lets you determine what level of someone is.
The
that's
battle
not what
master
I'm
trait.
talking about.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, this would be very applicable. In
I'm
this
trying to
situation.
see if we got any pull on do we clearly look more valuable than anyone else?
You personally are carrying a weapon that's more expensive than
Yes.
probably all of the equipment that everybody in the square is wearing combined. So far as you know.
You should just fly up in the air and say, "Listen to me, bitch."
You know what?
Well, I'd like to just say to him, like, look around you. Would you rather have any of these men over us?
Steals my line.
That is a good point, and I am a bit strapped for time. I should have left a couple of days ago, to be honest.
Well, let's put
right.
it this way. We're leaving, and we're actually going in that direction. If you want to hire us to help protect you, that's fine. If not, then we won't protect you, and you'll have to take some of the less desirable cell swords out here. It's up to you.
Make another persuasion check with advantage. He thinks about it for a moment. All right. Okay. You'll do fine. You'll do perfect. Do any of you guys know anything about carts, though? Because I'm not really good at this sort of thing, and that wheel's looking a little rugged.
Maybe
Well,
you should go see the blacksmith. I know they know lots.
How
about
bad does the wheel look?
It looks like it's like a loose axle or something. I don't fucking
Can I
know.
bend it?
Yeah, can I just
Yeah.
mend it?
Yeah, sure, try. Cast
I
mending
tried.
on it. Yeah, I do. And I would say make an intelligence check. Just a straight intelligence check, adding your modifier and your proficiency.
Oh, well then it's 15.
15? Yeah, no problem. I mean, you fix it with ease, using your mending spell. And
I make it very clear I cast magic to do that, by the way.
wow.
In front of this guy.
the extra special wiggle.
I didn't say anything about it though. I just,
That's quite a trick. That'll be useful. The roads are not exactly paved, so whew. Are any of you big mighty strong men? I mean, we might have to push it out of mud and something. I'm planning on just going. If it's raining, we're going still. So it's kind of a timetable type thing.
that won't be a problem.
How many days are you looking to get there in?
Oh well, I mean,
To get to Tosa
just as
and
fast
Dartmouth?
as I can, pretty much. That's
Okay,
really
sure. Like all normal people. But how many days do you think it'll be? How many days do you want it to be?
I have never come straight from here to there, so let me just do a little math here. let's say 2 days to there. It's like 5 days there. Another 2 days there. So we're looking at like 9 days. Another couple of days there, and then finally 1 day there. So like 13 days to Dharma. Does that sound? That's pretty fast pace.
12
Well,
it is.
I think we can do 12. I don't know if we're ready to commit to going all the way to Dartmouth, but we can get you to Tosa and then see what we think.
Well, just keep in mind, it's an extra 250 gold pieces, and it's not even that far. So, at that point, why not just make the extra journey?
Well, we've got things to do too, but we'll keep it in mind.
Sure. And these things you have to do, they're not like illegal or anything. I don't want to go with anybody who's evil.
No. We're going to Jelrin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then let's get going.
Very well.
And you're all ready. You don't need to go get any supplies or anything because, like I said, let's get this on the road.
Just get on my horse and we'll be on our way.
Sure. Okay. So you guys begin to head out from Morrow. The guards don't really give you any pause. The merchant, whose name is Wallish, talks with one of the guards briefly about the kind of wares that he's taking out. And you guys depart from the city, and not even a mile out, you can tell that this is actually going to take probably a little bit longer than what he said.
Of course.
The mules that he has are a bit stubborn, and about every mile they kind of stop, and he kind of like yanks on the ropes. He's like trying to get him to come along. And he's cursing at him, like really funny halfling curses that don't really make any sense. Taos rolls initiative to fight the mules.
I like to try to like help the mules or like see what's wrong with them and see if I can help them move along a little faster. Maybe they're a little injured and they don't want to move.
And do you have animal handling?
Right.
Sure. You can make an animal handling check. With disadvantage as he's helping you, quote unquote. But yeah, that's really good. And you coax the mules into moving along at a better pace. It's still slower than what your horses could do or what you could travel by your lonesome. But you guys are making a pretty good pace as you guys depart the city, and after a couple hours, pretty much, you guys are well beyond Morrow, and you can no longer see any of its towers or keeps in the distance. As this terrain it's generally flat, and there is a good amount of woods to either side of the road and near the river. There's a lot of deciduous and carnivorous trees this farther south, and we're still moving into fall, so it's still cooler, and the leaves are changing color, and it's actually a very pleasant countryside as you guys are leaving this area. You guys continue on for a couple hours before you stop for a midday meal, and he just kind of starts making small talk with you. So you guys kind of strange looking. You talk a little funny. Where you guys come from?
We're from Salur.
Ooh, Solurans. Yeah, it's pretty bad up there nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite the war going on.
Is that why you guys are down here?
Yes.
In part.
Ooh, phew. I'm sorry to hear that. You got family up there. Are they okay?
We did.
Ooh, that does not sound good. I'm sorry. Ooh, yikes. What happened?
I do not think this conversation keeps progressing in good direction.
Oh, well, that's no fun. We're going to be on the road for a long time, so if you want to just chill it with all those little secrets or whatnot, I'm an open book. You guys can be an open book too, okay?
Maybe people do not like to talk about how loved ones died, is what I mean.
No, people die. It's not that big a deal. But I understand.
Willing to pay quite a bit of coin for you not to die, aren't you?
Indeed.
True. But really, if I do die, if you could take these gems to the destination in Dartmouth, you'd still get paid, and I'd really appreciate it.
We haven't seen many halflings, right?
Not so much in Solura, no.
More so here.
Yeah.
Sounds like let's just kill him. Sick.
Well, why? So who are you bringing gems to in Dartmouth?
Oh, there's a collector down there. He's a jeweler or something. I know him. I worked for him a while. His name is Pedrin. Pedrin Habouche, I think is his name. But he's kind of renowned as, one of the best jewelers in Dartmouth and all of Banthashone. He's so good. Oh yeah. In any case, he buys gems from all over the place, and this stuff. He kind of pulls back the hood on one of his wagons, or the covering, and it just glitters in the sunlight. There's so many gems. There's sapphires, rubies, topaz, amethyst. It's all in there. You can see diamonds, and there's also bars of silver and gold. And he's like, yeah, so all this stuff he bought from Lord's Port in Morocco. So I had to go all the way over there, pick it up, drag it all the way back. He kind of seems exhausted. He covers it back up. But I get paid pretty good, so that's nice.
I hope you're being paid pretty good if you're out, dragging this much treasure that would make a highwayman give an honor for it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I hired you, and that's why I'm paying you pretty well. So hopefully you can keep this protected. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No scum will touch that wagon.
Great.
He's
I
like
like the
Superman.
assurity. I like the assurity. This man has a way with words. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, that's great. And well, I'm sorry that I offended you. I hope that the rest of your family, if you've got any, are okay.
Oh, they are.
Great.
It's just it's something we are truly thankful. We should be truly thankful.
I understand. So are you guys big heroes up there then?
No.
Depends who you ask.
2 answers. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, I mean, if they heard of me, probably say I'm a big hero. If they haven't, probably got no idea who I am. Now do they?
That makes pretty good sense to me, for sure. And you two brooding folk over there. I don't think I actually caught all your names. So let's start with you, fine gentleman who is so reassuring and kind. What is your name?
Oh, my name is Kira.
Perfect. I love it. Kirill, I'll remember that. I hope. And you, young lady?
Sophia Tanrask.
That's a mouthful. You got a nickname?
You can call me Sophie.
Sophie, perfect. I love it. And brooding character with Raven.
The name is Jonathan.
Okay, I like that name. That's nice. A little different than those guys. You must have had different type of family. Okay. And brooding character with no hair.
My name is Misha.
That's okay. And Magic Man.
How dear.
All right. Would you mind if I called you Magic Man? I kind of like that name.
You do you, buddy.
Perfect. So
Where
I've
you
got.
from?
Oh well, I come down from Calden. It's about where Mirth ends, that river. Yeah, it's a nice little halfling settlement.
I have no idea where that is.
It's,
Oh, I
south.
see it.
We have not
Skull, huh?
Yeah, Restoma territory. That's right. Yep.
I like Skull. Nice little place to live for a while, anyway.
I think you would think that, Mr. Magic Man, but most of the people there are pricks.
How so?
Well, you are kind. I mean, I don't mean to disparage, but those magic folk are hoity-toity. They think they're better than everybody else. That's my experience.
Fair enough.
I suppose, in a way, they kind of are, because they can do magic, which is, that's pretty great. But they don't need to be such assholes. There should be more people like you, Haldir, helping us fix our wagons and transport our goods, instead of locking themselves away in towers, doing nothing all day.
That's nice, but I'm just here for the money.
Yeah, well, people got to get paid. That's not a big deal. Yeah, well, you know how it is. Well, we should probably get on the road again. This has been a long lunch.
Yeah, good fiver.
Yeah. And if you have nothing else to say, you start packing up, breaking camp, and heading on your way. As you're going along.
There's a beholder just chilling in the road.
Casts all of his eye beams.
Yeah.
Tammin is dead. And he's stone. And now he's ash.
Ooh. We should
the
have my
going-
boy Lycidas.
The going is pretty good. There's no problems with the wagon as you continue along. And let me see. As it starts to near dusk, and therefore around the time that you guys would have to stop, you guys end up about right here. Ping it.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. And
We can make it to Pix tomorrow.
And you see a sign in the road ahead, in this kind of like camp spot. This looks like it's almost like a designated camping area outside of, or on the road out of Morrow. And yeah, Pixar did man. There's a sign with two arrows. One heads towards this northern wood, and it says the Talm Estate. And to the south, or it's like pointing towards the river, it says the Wishkar Crossing.
To the south, it says that?
Yeah, it like points towards the river. And you look off.
The estate, you said that's the guy that you told us to stay with, right?
Yep, that's what the captain was talking about. Yeah.
Alright.
It looks like it's about a mile off for the estates, and the crossing presumably is just wherever the river is, which is just a little bit out of sight.
Well, why don't we stop by the estate? It'll be a safer place to make camp.
I disagree with
No,
that.
I don't think we should do that, Carol.
I asked Wallish if he's ever heard of this guy.
Let me think. No, I've never ever heard of a man like that. But if Kirill says we should go there, I kind of trust Kirill, so I'm good to go there.
That's the problem, though. Kirill trusts everybody.
And I trust Kirill. So
That's a mistake.
That's a halfling thing?
trusting circle. Mm-hmm. Yep. But, I'm just the merchant. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. But if I had a vote, I'd say I want to sleep in a bed rather than, on the ground. That's my vote. I'm just saying.
I do not know if you should have a vote because there are 5 of us.
He's paying us. He should have a vote.
You should have 2.
No.
Ooh, I like that. 2 votes.
See, I don't... Carol, you just need to...
Kirill,
Zip
a lot of
that
times
mouth.
people say that I should only have half a vote. And I think that that's wrong, because they're making fun of my height. But Kirill says I should have 2? Woo-wee. I like it.
Obviously, I vote no, but I will go with you if you decide that you would like this man.
I don't really care.
We don't know anything about this man. Should stay away.
Definitely risky. But,
Yeah.
it's never stopped me before, I guess.
Man who jumps into water.
That leaves Tao.
Yeah, I think that's 2 for, 2 against.
I say we go for it. Let's go.
All right.
I'm sure we'll have a nice time.
Kirill, one of these days, hopefully that wonderful personality of yours maintain just a smidgen.
Hopefully it only
Sure.
gets him killed.
Think
Okay.
of the horses.
Exactly.
Oh, Zoyante is doing very well.
What is his name?
Zoyante.
Wow. Yes.
All right.
All right, so
named
I guess
Zoyante.
we head over to this place we
Okay.
know nothing about.
With a cart full of jewels.
Yeah.
This will be great.
So as you guys start to make your way into this wooded area, the path starts to kind of wind and curve. Looks like it's like around hills or knots of trees that they didn't really want to clear out. But maybe half a mile in, the road actually becomes paved, and it's well kept from what you can see. And occasionally there's like a lantern, but they're not lit at this hour for whatever reason. And you guys are just kind of progressing along. I'd like all you guys to make perception checks as you're moving along through this wooded area.
Jeepers.
Like the assistance of my bird.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello?
Guys, I thought I could make the gas station in 10 minutes. It was close.
It was very close.
Don't worry, we already started.
We literally just started. You guys started making your way into the woods. There was it starts to become paved stone after a short way, and there's lanterns, but they're not lit. And then I asked you all to make perception checks. Okay.
Yikes.
So
Just present.
yeah. So Tao, you're not sure if it's just kind of your paranoia or if there's actually something out there, but every once in a while you hear like the crack of some branches or just like some faint distant noises is almost what it seems like. It's just kind of spooky, you know. There's like a little fine mist or fog that's kind of rolling in. It's very scary. But not
see.
really.
I got a bad feeling.
Do I
about
not
this.
get advantage with using my bird and myself? I'm just...
I mean, I guess he's helping you to some extent, but yeah, I mean, you actually pretty much see the same. There's nobody out here, and it just, it just seems like a cool night. But there is some sounds that are coming from the forest every now and then.
So I'm just confirming my suspicions at this point. That this was a bad idea. Got it. Thank you.
Yes. And Tao, you cannot say this was a bad idea. This was your choice. You were the deciding vote.
I don't
That's
hear
right.
that
anything.
wasn't Tal, but-
feeling about it.
Yeah, Tal.
Guys,
what
I
the
don't
heck?
I don't hear anything. What is your problem? This is not whoever can have a paved road out here has got some serious money. And so you guys start or continue moving along this path. After a few more minutes, you can see some dim lights through the trees ahead. The road kind of curves away from it, and then it starts curving back north, and it starts at a slight downward slope, and the forest kind of opens up, and you see that there are two small-ish homes that are kind of nestled very close to each other, and then there's one very large structure. You can't quite make out its whole size in the darkness, but you can see that there's a number of windows that are very far apart that are lit up with candlelight or torches. They're just very dim light that's coming off of them, and you can see smoke coming from the chimneys of the two smaller homes in front, as well as from the central manor structure. And you don't see any gate or natural wall or stone wall or anything like that around it. You just kind of see this path that leads into it, leads into the estate proper. And the building on the left has, on the back side of it, as you kind of moving closer, you can hear the sound of horses just kind of whinnying over in the corner, doing their thing, a little chomping. And to the right, you can kind of see this open area that looks like a metalwork shop as you're kind of moving in. Do you guys stop your carts or leave your horses, or what's your plan of approach here? There's so far you don't see anybody who's out and about at this late hour.
I mean, how late is it? It's not that late, right?
You guys stopped at around dusk, and then you traveled another mile through the woods. So the sun's, for the most part, completely
Pretty
gone.
much gone.
So it's like 8.
Let's say that 8.
So I mean, are there like lights on in these establishments, even though there's no one?
Yeah,
out and about?
there's some dim lights from each of the smaller homes, and then there are a number of rooms in the large estate that have lights on.
Okay.
Well,
Somebody.
somebody better go knock.
Well, no.
Carol, why don't you go ahead since this is your idea?
I walk up to one of the doors and I kind of. I mean, so is there any place that looks kind of like a serving?
I ready
quarters or
my
something?
bow.
No, I mean the left structure looks like a stable and a house maybe, and the right structure looks like a blacksmith and a house maybe. But the central structure has is 2 stories tall, and it's very large. Extends off into either direction, probably into the woods some distance. I mean, this is probably one of the largest homes or keeps or anything that you've ever seen. It's very, very large. But there's just that one central smokestack that's coming from it at the current.
I'd like to approach the main structure and maybe knock on the door.
Okay. And is there anybody going with him, or is it just you?
I'm
Looks
not
like
going
I
anywhere near that. I'm
looks
readying
like
my
I
bow
go
and chilling
alone.
back.
I'll go with them.
Okay. So as you walk through in between the 2 homes, and you start to approach the main structure, you hear a call out from behind you, and you guys can both make perception checks. And it calls out, "Hold! What is your business here?"
I respond that we were met with a captain on a boat who told us that we can, we would be welcome here.
State your names.
My name is Kirill.
I'm Haldia.
A captain on a boat. Tell me his name. Quickly.
I don't remember.
I think his name was Lamar.
Oh, that was the wizard.
Okay, no, that's the wrong merchant.
In character, who?
I know his name, but I don't hear this exchange, I imagine.
Pember. You just met him like 2 days
Pember.
ago. Or, you left him like a day ago.
Yeah, it was Captain Pember.
Said he'd sold some stuff to you guys before, and that you're really welcoming to travelers. Seems he might have been pulling a leg, though.
Yes, he was pulling your leg. And as this kind of like shouting is coming along and reaching fruition, the main doors of the manor kind of swing open. And you both see a very large man. Appears to be very well muscled. He's like 6'6", and you can just kind of see the outline of him because there's light behind him. And he calls out, "Balton, how many times have I told you? All are welcome. Go to bed. We'll take care of it. Please, come in." He kind of gestures his arms. He says, "My name's Richard. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry about my servants. They're
Oh, it's no problem, really.
overprotective."
Truth be told, we have some more friends back down the path a little bit, but they were too scared to walk up.
Yes, I can tell. The woods are a bit spooky at night, I guess. Well, bring him in. I have plenty of room.
Well, thank you very much. And I go grab the gang.
Sure. And as you kind of are bringing your horses and the mules up, the man who you assume he called out as Balton walks up to you, kind of got a downcast look to him. He's probably in his mid-30s, and he's got kind of this dirty blonde hair. And he looks over and he's like, "I'll take your horses. Sorry."
Oh, no problem.
He lights a lantern, starts to get to work. Yeah, Richard's left the front door open, so if you want to enter in, you can.
I enter in.
Sure. And so what you see is this kind of lavish reading hall. There's this 2 sets of staircases that go up on either side of it as well. There's a large hallway, and like looking down either hallway, it continues on until you can just see the light from windows like poking through, but nothing else. It's just like darkness in either direction. But straight ahead in this hall, there's a large fire pit, and you actually see in it there's like a long table set up horizontally from you with a bunch of tables or a bunch of chairs around it, and
In the fireplace?
next to the fireplace. But you also see there's like a tent set up in this hall right next to the fireplace, and there's like a bedroll laid out as you're kind of moving in. But the rest of the estate, from just this place that you can see, there are pictures of heroic battles. There are gold candelabras. I mean, it's just wealth beyond imagination. You can see like sets of like hands that are wearing rings and just like crazy stuff that shouldn't be in any type of greeting hall ever. It's kind of tacky almost in a certain way. There's a bunch of hangings of animal skulls and beast skulls. And there's like old coats of arms and tons of other types of weapons that are from different creatures that you imagine once wielded them. And you see Richard now, he's sat by the table by the fireplace, and you see him a little bit better in this fuller light, and he's a very old man, just based on his hair. It's completely gray and just barely starting to bald, just at the top. And he is, again, he's just like this extremely fit, taunt man. And he's got like a simple tunic on, and like really out of place clothing for for where he is or what he has, I guess. And he sits down and he gestures at the table. I have some food left out. Come. Let's take a meal by the fire.
Oh, that'd be splendid. Thank you.
Uh,
I
eh,
could,
as
I
you
could add
all,
something.
do you all take a seat at the table then?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, who do I have the pleasure of hosting this evening?
Well, my name's Carol. We're a party of adventure. We met your friend Pember on a boat a few days back. He said you're always open to visitors.
Bember. That's funny. Yes. I've met with Pember. He's a good man. And yes, I take in all travelers. It's a habit of mine, or I guess a rule of mine. Long ago, I was taken in my time of need, and I felt like I should always pay it forward. It's kind of my open policy, and you get to meet a lot of interesting people. So, please introduce yourself. My name again is Richard Talm. I am the owner of this estate.
I'm Hal de Renosi, as I said earlier, but
Yes, the rest of your compatriots.
I just look at them.
My name is Jonathan.
And my name is Tao.
Sophia.
All right. Well,
Oh,
Tao
God.
called himself Tao in the presence of the merchant.
I know. How is Misha? So
yeah, the guy kind of gives you a strange look, but he honestly doesn't really care because he didn't think your name was Misha to begin with. And he is like looking around at everything that's on the walls. He's like, you just got this kind of like jaw drop moment going on. But Richard speaks up and says, what brings you out this way?
Well, we're heading to Jelrin, and well, most of us are. And this fellow here was looking for some protection on the road, so we decided to accompany him on our way to Tosa, maybe Dartmouth, depending.
That's a respectable job. Merchant guards, keeping the roads safe. I think I did that once.
Oh, were you an adventurer back a few years back?
A few years, yes, a few years. That's how I made my wealth. It's a fine gig as long as you live. And you said yourself, I take it that you're adventurers and not merchant guards full time then?
Something of the sort. Have been of late, anyway.
It's a dangerous game. Be mindful of where you swing your sword. I'm sorry. You don't want my advice. I understand. It's what old men do, I guess. Please take as much as you like. You can have a servant bring in some more if you need anything. And please, to take rooms, I've got plenty for you. There's some in the up hall, just around the corner. I'm sure you'll find what you need. There's nothing locked or anything.
So, were you just a caravan guard, or did you do your own adventuring?
I did my own adventuring, yes. I fought in the Third Goblin War when I was 20. Made a name for myself. Earned this land. And then I took up bounties into the mall, for the most part.
You've been to the mall?
Many times.
It's incredibly
Anything
impressive.
you can tell me about it? I have plans to go at some point.
Do you want to live a long life?
Well, yes, but I also want to go to the mall. You see my predicament.
That is quite a predicament. I would say the best thing that I can tell you about the mall is that it would be good to go with a guide or someone who's taken you there many times. Who's been there many times, I mean to say. It is easy
So
to
I'll
get
just come
lost.
find you then.
No,
I say
will-
just.
I have no intention of going back there. Well, I have no intention of going back there until my business here is finished. I'm waiting for my son and wife to return so that I know that my estate is in good order. My son's been away for quite some time.
Where's he been?
I sent him off to Skull. He's something of a sorcerer. But I haven't seen him for probably 15 years. Kept in good contact with him for quite some time, but last message that I heard, he was coming up to meet me, and he never came. So my wife and one of my servants is on the way to Skull to see if they can unravel a bit of the mystery.
Mind if
But-
I ask his name? I've been to Skull a few times. Lived there for a while.
Well, sure, it's Vesser.
Can I make a check to see if I've ever heard of this dude?
Sure.
I'm guessing no, but
You can make a history check.
doesn't ring a bell.
Sorry to hear that. Truthfully. You said you wanted to go into the mall.
Well, I do. I don't know that they do.
He's you see now that he's got quite a jug in front of him. Like he's drinking pretty heavily. And he's kind of like set it underneath his chair and then he brings it up and he takes a huge swig. Well, I have a bit of a vendetta against the dragon there. And I'd be happy to take you, should the time be right. If you're capable enough, I suppose you'd turn it into less of a death wish and more of a real success, I guess. But
Not
for now,
sure that-
I need to wait until my family
What
and my
cause do you have
inheritance is
for a
secure.
vendetta against a dragon?
My sister and I were actually a pair of adventurers. That's really where I made most of my money, was with her. Unfortunately, she did not survive long enough to enjoy the benefits of what she worked for. You see, we were hunting a white dragon that was harassing the farms around Pix, taking cows and whatnot. At that point, I was pretty capable myself, and my sister, who's another powerful sorcerer in her own right, who was, we slew the beast very easily. We got lost in the maw, though, and we came across another dragon, Borzova the White. And we were carrying the scales of a child. She did not take kindly to that, as you can imagine. We fled, and we thought we got away, but we were lost in the maw for weeks. And eventually, one night, she came upon us, and my sister lost her life in a very gruesome way. I'd rather not delve into it. In any case, I would seek to kill her. That wretched old devil. But I'm sorry, that's an old story, and I don't think that you came here for that. Please enjoy your meals and take refuge in my home. My servants ought not bother you again. And
Well,
if
I
you have
should
need
keep
of
you in
anything
mind
else,
when the
I would
time
appreciate
comes.
that. I would appreciate that.
If we head south, we'll ask after your son.
Thank you. You're very kind.
It's the least we can do for your hospitality.
I appreciate that. Yeah, you've said you are not merchant guards full time and adventurers of a sort. I've told you a tale. Should you tell me one of yours? It's kind of one of the perks.
I don't see why not. Have you ever heard of the disfigured?
Ah, I think I have heard of a irreputable group from the north called by that name. Why?
Well, we encountered them a few times. They they seem to have quite the interest in us.
It's dangerous. You get yourselves wrapped up in political endeavors, then?
We haven't been trying. Do you know anything more about them?
Well, assassins, they're almost always hired hands because you're meddling in business someone else doesn't want you meddling in, I imagine. But,
Fair enough.
no, I have no dealings with them. I've kept it pretty level, I guess, in the activities that I took on. Work for small folk. Tried not to get into the wars that are constantly enveloping Restdoma. But I did fight in that Goblin War, and that was horrific. I can tell you that. If you do anything, avoid yourselves. Make yourself scarce around the Yip Yangi Mountains. It's not a good place.
So why exactly is there? Why is the town of Udenshire really there if it's so dangerous?
To keep them in check, truthfully. It's where I grew up. And it's where we made a stand against them some 60 years back now.
So it's something of a march.
Yes, I suppose you could call it that. But the people there are rough and ready to call out for aid if anything happens. It's the third time that those nasty creatures have shown themselves. And I heard that the first two were multitudes worse than what I experienced. First Knights of Karn came through there, and they fought for their existence to the extinction of their people against, if you would believe their record books, millions of goblins. I would believe it if it were not such an absurd number. But then again, this place hadn't known human hands or civilization really for such a long time, and you know how they breed.
I don't really, but I'll take your word for it.
Like bunnies.
I see. Well, we shall heed your word.
Yeah. Well, he reaches under his chair, takes another big swig. I'm going to go shooting now. Feel free to stay for the rest of your night. I'm an archer. That's what helps me relieve my stress. Have a
Very
good
well.
night.
Have a good night as well.
If anyone cares to join me, they're welcome to. If not, enjoy your stay, enjoy your rest. Good night. And he starts kind of
I give him the
stomping
nod.
off, staggering off towards the right-hand chamber. And you see, just before he leaves, he stops and he picks up this long staff that's like 7 foot tall, pretty much. And you recognize it to actually be a very large longbow.
You said this guy was huge, didn't you?
Yeah, 6'6", something in that ballpark. Super strong.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have the room to yourself, and the merchant, Welsher or Wallish, it's like, that guy he's pretty big. Pretty big. Well,
especially compared to him.
yeah. If there's nothing else, I think I'm gonna go check out those rooms.
By all means.
Who's coming with me? Because don't go.
Don't worry, I'll stay with you.
Thank you.
I'll watch the cart.
Cart's outside.
Yep, it is.
Okay. So Kirill and Wallish head up to the second story, in the general direction that Richard told you, and you open up the rooms, and you can see that there's these canopied beds in them with silk sheets and really like plush, lavish pillows in all of them, and there's dressers with like fine clothes for any occasion, essentially. And it's just like this really magnificent, ornate rooms. There's a lot of them, so that's where the rooms are. But Tammin, you head outside. Is there anybody going with him to the carts?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Sure. So you guys head over to where Balton was taking your horses, and he's still at work, kind of like feeding them, getting them taken care of, getting them settled in and whatnot. And he notices that you guys arrive, and he speaks up, carrying quite the cargo.
Had yourself a look, did you?
Oh, you're in our estate. Didn't think it'd be too presumptuous to see what you were holding.
No, as long as you don't get any sticky fingers.
I've no need of that. I'm sure you've seen your fair share of wealth in that manner.
Indeed.
What are you
They're just staring at each other now.
keeping an eye on me then? Or an eye on your
Keeping
wagon?
An eye on everything. Mostly the cart.
Well,
The
it's
wagon.
secure. Both of them are. And unblemished. He gives you
A wink.
Courtesy.
Yeah.
That's what I
Courtesy.
He continues his business. Are you guys just kind of chilling out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning on chilling out there. We'll bullshit a little bit, I guess, but nothing specifically to say to Tao, unless he has something to say to me.
No, just watching your back.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of just relaxing in this area, he's going about his work, and he is giving you kind of some glances every now and then. But eventually, once he finishes up, he pulls out a pipe and starts smoking some tobacco. And you hear some rummaging coming from the trees about 20 minutes later. And a fairly large woman is kind of like broad-shouldered and it's got pretty thick arms, way stronger than Tammin.
Yeah,
Comes
no
out-
kidding.
Comes out and she's
I'm
got
a
a
weak
deer
boy.
straddled across her back, and she's got a couple arrows in it, and she kind of like sets it down next to Balton, and he just kind of gives the woman a nod. Amtree, we've got some visitors. He's looking over at you guys, and she kind of brushes off her hands, wipes them off on her tunic. There's a bit of blood on him. She saunters over, holds out her hand. My name's Amtree, and I'm the huntswoman around here. You
Amtree,
are?
Nice to meet you. My name's Jonathan. Quite the kill you've got there.
Well, it's nothing. Not these woods are crawling with him, truthfully. You, back there.
My name's Tao.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Suppose
to meet
these
you.
aren't the only ones. Got a nice group up in the manor?
A couple more.
Well, how long are you planning on staying?
Well, not more than the night.
Oh, good. I won't have to go out hunting again then. Well, if it's all the same to you, I've got a deer to clean. Enjoy your night.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
She takes her kill elsewhere and starts to go to work. The stable hand, Balton, finishes his smoke and are you guys gonna stand out here all night then?
Perhaps.
You don't like the stabilize?
Seems a waste, but you enjoy yourself now. And he heads inside,
Give him the
presumably
nod.
to his rest. Sure. Okay. Other than that, for the next 30 minutes, nothing transpires outside. How long do you stay out there?
I mean, I would probably just stay an hour. Just listening. I don't know if that's like... Because that thing that we heard earlier, still, I'm wondering if there's more than just deer out here. I'll say to Tao.
Well, I don't think we're gonna really find anything unless it attacks us, whatever it is.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. But anyway, I just wanted to step out and make sure nothing was... there was no risk of having this guy's stuff being stolen. Wouldn't want our ability to be paid to be lost.
I mean, if anything gets stolen under his care, probably could pay it in himself. It seems like he can afford a lot.
Perhaps, but then, we failed to protect his goods, no? That's why he hired us. I just don't want there to be any disagreements once we get to the other side.
Right. No, that makes sense. Well, I'll do whatever you need me to. I'll hang out with you. You want to go back in early? It's no problem.
Well, that's no sense in being out here if everyone else is inside, so we can head back in.
Okay.
Have a rest for the night.
Yeah, let's do that.
Misha, what were you up to while this was going on? Did you end up going up with Kirill and the merchant Wallish, or you're just kind of left in that dining hall
I know. I
all
just
alone?
got left in the dining hall.
I'm still
was
in
gonna
there
say-
Oh
too.
yeah, Haldir's there too. Yeah.
He basically invited us to like look around and stuff too, right?
Yeah, and
Uh,
eat whatever
Around,
you
like,
wanted.
Mikasa, Asuka.
He didn't say you could go wherever you want. He said nothing's locked. As far as the upstairs area where he mentioned the bedrooms, but he also doesn't seem to really care. He's not paying any much mind to you.
Oh, there's a couple servants. I would see if there's a library or something like that.
There are actually no servants inside the house that you've seen. There's nobody else.
Weird. This is a big house, right?
Yep.
This is like a mansion, basically, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Necromancer
Yeah.
Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just still chilling at the table. I'm trying to solve this necklace puzzle thing.
Sure.
Okay. Haldir, what are you doing?
Just fiddling with this thing.
Yes, I've
Something
seen
I
you
like to do.
play with it quite a bit, and I don't know why.
Well, it's a puzzle. Trying to find the answer.
How long have you been trying to find the answer?
Like nearly 2 years. Yeah.
You've been working on this for 2 years? You are...
Well, I don't look at it every day.
No, it is just that you are actually very smart. I can imagine in 2 years you've probably worked through many combinations.
Well, it's meant to be difficult.
2 year difficult.
I don't know. But Jonathan had one as well.
Do I ever remember? I'm assuming I would have seen that on him.
No,
When
I
you
just,
guys,
He had one when we were
found
in
one.
the fortress.
Yeah, it was like, wasn't it broken already?
Oh, I thought that you were saying Haldir's was broken.
nope,
No.
Haldir's is not broken, but
Oh, okay.
but his was broken. It was in
Like, he
pieces.
opened it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you were never able to ask Jonathan how he solved it.
Well, I didn't know he had one till we found it in his pocket.
May I see it?
Yeah, I hand it to you.
I want to look over like if there's any kind of like markings or engravings across the
Oh, there's tons.
necklace that I might recognize from any of my reading.
So as far as like symbolism or anything like that, there really isn't. But it is basically it's a cube, and on each face of the cube, except for the top one, there is a small. It's the cube itself is like a white or gray. I can't remember exactly what color it was. But it has
No,
these.
it's black.
Oh, it's black. Okay.
It's like deep, rich black.
And so there's crosses on each one of the faces of it, and there's a black circle that is set in the center of it, and you can push the circle on each one of the faces up and down and in any direction along the cross on each one of the faces. And so when you're kind of fiddling with it, you can roll a D100.
Sure.
God, I hope you fucking get it on the first try.
No.
No, there's no way it would happen.
That's not how that works, I think.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so-
hoping it doesn't explode my fingers off. So
Well, so as you're touching it, and you're like you hold it in that position for a moment, it's kind of like when you set your fingers onto the top of a car after it's been in the sun for like a really long time. Like there's that kind of like initial warmth, and then it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter as the heat transfers to your hand, and to the point where it's like super
Yeah, I'm
hot. And you have to let it go.
down on the table. Does
Well, what
this,
happened?
It got hot.
Got hot.
Has
Yeah,
it
it's
ever
never
gotten?
done that. No, it's never gotten hot before. Usually I just
Oh.
hear things. A little strange, like a whirling sometimes. And sometimes it sounds like there's water flying about in it.
Like
It's never
do
gotten hot,
not-
though.
I do not think it was supposed to get hot. I think I am not good at this puzzle.
Well, everything's a clue. That's the way I've been looking at it.
So it whirs and gets hot. This is magical, yes?
Well, of course.
I'm gonna pay attention to the symbols and stuff in case I see anything like that in the future.
Sure. You can make a history check if you'd like, since you're pretty well read. No, nothing about these objects in particular. In any books you read, Newnham, it's not really one of the topics you were looking for. But yeah,
Not in the bestseller section.
I return to my
old.
fiddling.
okay. If you would like to, you can roll a D100 as well. Okay, so as you're testing a different combination you've probably tested before, it really feels like you've gone through them all at this point. It feels like it's like there's just this energy that's kind of growing in it, and you kind of lift it up to your ear, and you can see Misha as he's doing this. Haldir's hair is just kind of like standing up, starts to rise.
I want to like see if I can like gently start like playing with his rising hair.
You hear the you hear the
I love that
pops.
your character's
Yeah.
so intrusive on people's personal space. It's hilarious.
You hear the pops
I
and,
don't
and
understand.
shocks as it's like static energy is just kind of like rolling off of Haldir as he's fiddling with this.
Okay, so static shock's not painful static shocks, but no, because
You
Alright.
take 8d10 damage.
oh god.
No, nothing like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh an
Mm.
awful lot as I'm watching this. I do
Oh,
not know
it's
if
this one
is what
again.
you meant to do.
It's
Has
like-
this happened before?
I think so. I've tried a lot of things. It's hard to remember which ones I have and haven't. And,
And after a few minutes, or probably like close to 30, as you guys have just kind of been relaxing here, there's like a few bottles of wine that are kind of laid out on the table as well. A couple of them that are already empty. You see Richard comes back in, and he's kind of got a bit of glisten on him. He's just a bit sweaty from his shooting, and he saunters over to the table, and he's kind of got a stagger. He's stumbling a little bit as he's carrying his jug. And he kind of rattles it before he brings it up to his mouth again, finishes it off, wipes his mouth off, sets it down, sits down, and grabs a bottle of wine, uncorks it, and starts drinking. The rest of your friends ditched you.
Oh yeah, some went to bed. The other ones went to watch the cart.
Oh, not very many people come out here, and I've got a watcher who keeps an eye on things in the night. Amtree.
Oh yeah.
She's a woodswoman. She's very good at her craft.
Oh, I'm sure they're just paranoid. Rightfully so, maybe.
It's a good trait to have, I guess, as an adventurer. A lot of bad things can happen out
I nod in agreement.
there. Have you had anything bad happen to you?
Well, I mean, a few near-death experiences, but I think that's just the way it is.
That is. Just pray that it's never your friends are the ones that go first.
And who is it you pray to? If you don't mind my asking.
I'm not sure I follow any of the gods, really. Karn seems like a fine gentleman, and Kurshanum, the god of balance, is what they worship out in Jepper, but I'm not much of a follower myself.
Nor am I, really.
Your friend here, though, Misha, no, Sophia, excuse me for the slip. She's you're a patron of some god?
Yes, the twins. But I have heard that our gods and our practices are heresy in your land.
Yeah, my land is my land. There's no heresy here. I own this. It's not part of Morocco. It's not a part of Jepper. It's my land and it's my woods. So this is like a small nation unto my own. Town nation.
This sounds very nice.
It is. There's not much to share it with. I truly do hope that my son returns.
I was meaning to ask you, how long has it been since you've last seen your son? You said 15 years, but how old was he then?
He was 17 when I sent him off. He's a man in his own right now.
And how long has it been since your wife has gone to go fetch him? The boat master mentioned this as well.
She left only 2 weeks ago. But we were in conversation or correspondence for quite some time before that, and so we had never worried about it. It's just that he would come back someday. He was never done with his studies. But is
Helpdeer might know a thing about that.
yeah. You said you were from Skull. Did you practice with him?
No, I do not recognize the name, but who was he under? Do you know? I was only there for a brief time, 6 months or so.
Honestly, I'd have to go search through the letters. So many names from those people, but I suppose I could. I sent my wife down there, but you asked, and I said it was a couple weeks ago, I think, is how long she's been gone. I can't quite rest in my bed while she's gone. Gestures to the tent. I'm, quote-unquote, roughing it in my own dining hall.
Oh my goodness.
Can't sleep, or actually can't go in?
What? You think the doors are barred and she only has the key? No.
Well, I don't know. It seemed a
Can't
little
find
odd. Is all.
rest. The bed's too big.
I give Misha a sideways glance.
I just think this is romantic by this point. But 2 weeks. This is a long trip. Normally, is it not? Skull is quite a ways.
If you're taking the safe roads, yeah, it is. And again, I would have gone with her. I would have preferred to. But could not risk the chance that something would happen to my estate or that he would show up and there would be no one here. I don't know. I fear that this is the end of my line, to be honest. I've paid people to scry. I went down tomorrow on one evening, and they could not find him. I should say one evening. Many evenings.
They could not find your son.
It's correct.
Who'd you have do it? Was it Lamar?
Her name sounds familiar, but I had a few people do it.
God rubbed me the wrong way.
But he would have had an object from his son. Or hair or something. The scry should have worked.
It
You
should
had
have.
such things, right?
That is what he said. He did not understand why I did not. He said that the only ways that it wouldn't work is if he were on another plane or if he were dead. And
To
I
be
described
fair,
a number of different objects that he would have carried as well, but he found them, didn't give us much information as to where his whereabouts are.
and all of this time he was sending you letters back saying he was fine.
Yes.
How often could you just disappear to another plane, Haldir, and your master be alright with that? Replying letters.
I've never gone to another plane. I don't really plan to. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I did go to another plane, but not intentionally. I don't know.
You have a
Can't
wild story then.
I was trapped in some labyrinth thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I escaped.
Is that
He
But
the
mentioned that there
one-
were a couple other ways too. Sorry that I let my negativity get the best of me. He said that there are ways that you can hide yourself from crying, and that he might have found one of these. But if he did, I don't really understand why he wouldn't come back to us. But it's just me.
Kids these days.
Perhaps there's enemies in Skull. There's a great many people in Skull who can scry a man, and not all of their intentions are pure. I wouldn't lose hope yet.
I find that wizards are seldom pure of heart.
Yep, that's why I'm a sorcerer.
splitting hairs. I'm gonna whisper that.
Oh, my sister had the same school of thought as you did.
Did you get your puzzle from the labyrinth?
No, I got my puzzle in Skull. I've had this for like ever since we met back up. It's been around my neck, so you would know that.
Yeah, but it wasn't there before you left.
I only went to the labyrinth quite recently.
A puzzle
I'm
box.
forgetting the labyrinth.
And I
Remember
see
when
it.
he shook the hand of the guy
no,
with the
I
bird, the
never
cage?
Yeah, I never saw him go.
That was in the
so
Lincidus Fortress.
I don't even know if I've heard about this.
Sorry, what did the guy say?
You were there.
He asked if he could see the puzzle box.
Oh, I suppose. But try not to solve it. It needs to be me, you know? And I hand it to him.
Sure. And he kind of like holds it in his hand like he's still holding some alien object. And he says, my sister said that I had the magic in me, but I never manifested it the same way that she did. She said that the things that I touched became magic. And you can tell that he's really drunk now. And he's kind of fiddling with it. He's like, ooh, that's something. And he sets it down hard on the table and throws it back to you.
This bastard.
Yeah.
Does it seem noticeably different in any way?
You pick it up and it's kind of like since it's definitely holds some inspiration in a Rubik's Cube. When you shake it, there's like a little bit of like a rattle. Like there's a piece that's broken in it after he did that.
I guess.
Oh no.
Sure. You cast mending on it and you shake it again next to your ear like vigorously. Like, fuck, did it break? And it's fixed.
I let out a sigh of relief.
It's getting a little late.
It is. I'm sorry I kept you up. Please, retire to your rooms. He gets up and he crawls into his tent. And you can hear him snoring like moments after.
Okay.
I'll go find a room.
Sure. You follow the general directions and you find another equally lavish room to rest your head.
Anything out of the ordinary in there?
Do you spend a lot of time looking over, or are you just taking a quick glance?
I'm planning on sleeping in there, so I suppose I'll, walk around it for a little while.
Check. You can investigate it.
18.
So you go through everything in the room, and you don't know exactly what it is that's kind of like putting you off. It's not bad. There's not like something ominous in the room, but there's some portion of it, or there's some nature to it that's just feels weird. But you can't find anything that's readily out of place as you finish investigating the room.
Find any bathrobes?
You do.
How there's gonna bathrobe it around.
Of all sizes too.
What color are we talking here?
Oh, I mean, he only has the nicest. So you've got these bright pinks and purples, yellows and teals, and then, more demure colors like, gray or black. So, simpler stuff as well. But they're all silk and nice.
I put on a navy bathrobe and head to bed.
Sure. So
I would
as you
imagine
guys,
that me and Tao have come back in at this point.
sure. You can hear snoring coming from the main hall, from the tent, and it's not familiar snoring. and you can see you probably are just catching Haldir like opening the door out of his room to go like look for a bathroom, and you can see he's wearing these bathrobes.
I'll just nod at him. They're getting comfortable.
Well, of course. When in Rome.
When and Moro. Right?
Oh my
That's
God.
hilarious. Well, I'm sure you're off to bed then.
Well, that's the plan.
Find anything in your room that you like?
Just the robe.
Well, you should keep it.
I don't know if that would be appropriate.
Keep it.
We'll see.
Do you guys head up to your own rooms as well? Tao and
I'm gonna
Tammin?
snoop around the house.
I'm gonna go up to the room.
Because
Sure.
I still don't trust that this place is squeaky clean.
All right. So what are you looking for exactly? You just want to move around into the rooms?
I think specifically what I think there's something's off. I'm looking for like a trap door or something like that's hidden, something like that. Some room that isn't meant to be found.
Sure. And where would you like to begin your work? Your
Well, I don't think I would look
investigation.
in the dining room, obviously. Maybe like the kitchen and some living areas, I guess.
Okay, so east wing, west wing, and then how
Oh,
long
yeah.
are you going to?
I guess I forgot that this is a mansion.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then how long are you going to investigate for?
I would say that I'd spend an hour searching. I guess
Sure.
I don't know, like the east wing. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. No problem.
I don't
Go
know
ahead and roll
which is one
investigation.
way or the other way. So
Critical. All right. So you begin moving down the hall to your left, and you're just looking for anything that's out of place, anything that's out of the ordinary, and you kind of like try a door. And can you cast the cantrip light? What are you using for a light
no,
source?
I can't.
No.
I
Okay.
mean, this place is rich, right?
If
I'll use a
Goose
candle.
is with you, you'll have a.
Yeah,
dark
I mean there are a number of candles that you can take, and like hooded lanterns that you can.
Goose
you
is
can
chilling
walk
on my
around with.
shoulder, dude.
So one of the first things that you really notice is as you're walking down this like long hall, and there's this rug, and there's just decoration on either side, but the windows, they are actually barred on the first floor at
Okay.
least, and they're barred in such a way that it's like very finely. There's not much space in between them, but there's a lot.
So
of
it's
them.
like okay, so
It's
it's
like a
like
mesh.
crossbarred, like top,
Yeah.
like vertical and horizontal bars. kind of thing?
It's it's just so that like no hands can get through or nothing
Right.
can like touch the windows or anything like
Okay.
that. And they're on the outside, obviously, not on the
Mhm,
inside.
mhm.
And you start opening the doors into each of these rooms, and you as you enter into the kitchen, there's just this huge kitchen that looks like it's designed to serve, huge parties basically. And for the most part, it's pretty untouched. Like it hasn't seen much recent use. You can see that there is actually towards one of the edges of it, closer to the main hall. There's this area where there's like some left out bread that's getting stale, and there's crumbs everywhere. And you like kind of open up some of the pantries, and you can see like these jars half filled with like preservatives and whatever.
Okay.
But other than that, there's nothing crazy in the kitchen. You start moving down another hall. You see like really nice privies with this like ceramic instead of wood. It's like super nice to sit on. It's cool in the night and it doesn't give you slivers. And it just seems really nice. You keep looking and searching, and you find this this larger room it's very dark in here. It's just away from the windows, and you see that it's just lined on each side with weapons and armor from who knows where. There's lots of different styles and fashions for men, and there's like robes on the wall. There's staves. It's just like a treasure room essentially. And you can actually see in one of the chests that you pop open, there's tons of gold in here as well. Maybe you'd guess in this, there's like a bunch of those sticks of gold.
Yeah.
There's maybe like 15,000, 17,000 gold in this chest itself, just like counting the sticks. And if they're all full, they're 17. Yeah. And there's just tons of nice stuff.
So this is like a cache. Like this whole room is like, it's just like a loot room.
This is like the
From
vault
this guy's
where you go
adventuring
through.
party, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's
but
what
you said there was
Tammin
a
would presume.
lot of like
Yeah, more than any, 10 people
adventuring
could wear.
party. Yeah.
Sure,
This
sure.
is like more than that.
Okay. Well, in this room in particular, is there any like, obviously there's like weapons and stuff, and then the money. Are there like statues or anything? This looks like some room where you'd want to keep something. I don't know.
There's some mannequins that are holding armor, but other than that, there's really nothing.
Okay.
And in just this hour of exploring, you've really combed through these rooms. You could continue to search if you'd like, but so far you haven't found anything that's setting you off. Like,
What time is it?
Let's say
I guess
close to midnight.
Okay. So I don't want to be fatigued. But I also don't want to die in the middle of the night. I'll search for another half hour. Maybe not necessarily in this room. But maybe like if there's any rugs around, I want to shuffle some of those around, see if there's any secret areas or something like that. Or maybe there's like a door somewhere in the house that's locked that looks like, maybe something might be in there.
Do you want to head off into the other wing, or do you want to stay over here?
I think I'd go to the other wing.
Okay, sure.
Let's give it all a little scope.
So, yeah, it does funny. So you start searching through the opposite wing, and you find another one of those really nice privies, and then it opens up to this. There's another huge ballroom that's got just the craziest, most lavish arch you've ever seen, and there's a bunch of instruments that are lining one of the walls, and there's this stage, and there's this huge piano on it, and it looks like there's an kind of organ or something over there as well, and it's just really, really nice stuff. And as you kind of move through that area, to the doors opposite, after finding nothing of real interest, you are in an absolutely massive, long room, and you can see that this is probably his shooting range. And you see where, like, the hall, the light where he's staying is coming in through. You see that this room is probably 700 feet, and the only targets are 700 feet down range, and he has hit bullseyes 3 times in a row on 3 different marks at 700 feet.
Okay.
And you like look around the room to see if there's any like trap doors or anything, but no, everything looks like it's on the up and up.
Well, I think that's about it. I'm not gonna push my luck.
I will say that on the opposite side of this hall, and looking out into the windows out there, there's a little bit of moonlight that's coming in, and you do see that there is a large garden in the back of this estate.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go and investigate the garden, so I think I've given enough time.
Is there a bunch of human statues in the garden?
No, but there is a statue in the garden.
Guys with arrows sticking out of them? I don't know.
No.
I'm not going to investigate any further. I'm going to head to sleep.
head into your room.
I'm gonna find a room and go to sleep.
Sure. Okay, so you get to bed at a fairly reasonable hour. Anybody who rests 6 hours in one of those beds, you can roll a d10.
For health, or
Just roll a straight
see.
d10, and I will tell you what you get. Wow, 2, 2, 2, 2, 8, 6. Okay, so for everybody who has rested in one of those beds for 8 hours, you guys gain that much temporary hit points for a week.
I'm
6.
fucking huge, boys.
You feel extremely well rested as you guys come to consciousness in the morning, and it's like the finest night of sleep you've ever had. Your dreams were all like wondrous, and you remember parts of them in the morning, and you're like, "Oh man, that was such a good sleep."
So you say temporary. Do you mean temporary, or do you mean your hit point maximum increases by 2 for 1 week?
It's temporary, so once you lose that hit point, those hit
They're
points
gone.
Heal back up to that until the
you
next
can't
day,
heal back
or
up to that.
you can't
No.
heal back up to it
You
ever.
can't
They're
heal
gone
back up to
permanently
it.
once you
They're
lose
gone.
them.
Okay, yeah, I know what they are, but
Yep.
you said for a week, so it's made me question.
Right. No, that makes sense. It's a good question to ask.
Tom's letting
but-
us know we're not going to get hit for a week.
well,
like it.
if you do, or if
Tom
you
is
don't,
prepping us
that's
for the
really up to you.
TPK fight.
I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. In any case, you guys come to consciousness the next morning, and you presumably start to gather, and you decide what you are going to do next with your journey. But we will stop there for today.